And here we are with another Grumpy Old Men. Welcome to the program and welcome to Steve.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, Tim.
Just on a side note, Baz, I think he's coming back.
Oh, okay, good.
I don't know why I mentioned that. Let's see what happens. I have to say, and I don't want you to get too excited, but as we sit here, I'm a little bit moist.
Well, I've done my job then.
It is actually quite hot and sticky.
Yeah.
So the hot season, we're right in the middle of the hot season. Down here in the south of Thailand, around Bang Na and Phuket, the hot season isn't quite as big a change as places like the north and the northeast, where they do get a cooler season.
Yeah.
Here it's always over 30, and it gets up to 33, 34, 35 during the hot season, but it's the humidity that kills you.
It's sticky.
And you need fans or air conditioning, of course.
You need fans or air conditioning, or you need to live, as I do, right on the beach and have windows at both ends of your house, so there's a constant breeze. It is extremely pleasant to lay down on this tile floor and take a nap in the afternoon with the breeze coming through. You walk out of my house in either direction, and once you're out of the shade of my porch, it's brutal. It's brutally hot. But architecture has uses, and so it's a little cooler in here. But yeah, it's something to deal with.
Now, it's not only the wind that makes its way through your front door. You've had a few drop-ins.
Yes. And I'm very pleased, and thank you for the opportunity to publicly thank these people. You know, I'm fairly easy to find. I'm on the coast, and my front door is at the beginning of half my videos. And I've had so far 6 or 7 people come, 6 or 7 viewers like you, come and knock on my door or shout through the door and spend some time with me. And just this morning, a man named Flavio Manzoni came and brought me, do you mind if I show this?
No, go for it.
He brought me a half kilogram of nice Italian coffee from Manzoni Ice Cream Shop on Kamala Beach on Phuket. And I
Whoa. He heard about you on a TNT program.
This channel, yes. He said, I watch you on Sundays.
Thank you very much. I'll take that.
Please. You've earned it.
Thank you very much. Artisan Manzoni.
Yeah.
So
I haven't tried it yet, but he and his son came to take a picture. Now, Boontongs Beach Bar, which is one of the sets in the videos I make, is a place on Google Maps, and you can check in. You can come and check in here.
Did you put it there on Google Maps?
I did, yes.
And you're tech savvy enough to be able to figure that out.
I did, but I couldn't pin it to this location. It's about 100 yards up the beach.
Well, that's probably just as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind people coming. I'm very flattered.
And you got Molly and
Dana came up.
Molly and Dana,
Phuket, 2 women from Phuket, and a couple of other guys have come one at a time, and I very much appreciate.
Bringing bags of money.
Nobody has brought anything except Flavio brought me coffee, for which I am very grateful. Other than that, nobody has brought me any gack yet. There's been no product placement offered. The sponsor, I thought I had a sponsor. I met this guy who sold ganja. I bought a bunch of ganja from him. Oh, I'm sorry, YouTube.
Just be careful. Yes, go on.
Yeah. Anyway, he said, "Hey, can I sponsor your channel? You'll do a weekly on Wednesday. Do a weekly review of my products." So I did one, and I sent it to him, and he sent me back a thumbs up sticker, and that was the last I ever heard of the guy. He's ghosted me.
Well, we should say, if anybody out there thinks that they can get any value whatsoever with product placement, we'll wear any T-shirt.
Yes, any hat.
We'll wear condoms, hot pants.
Yes.
We'll wear anything. Hats.
Yeah, we'll have to get the macro lens for
I
the
look a bit
condoms,
funny in a hat.
Yeah, well, you look funny anyway.
But we could cups, special sponsored rubber ducks. We are very sponsorable, and we are very amenable to offers of cash.
You have a toy store that sells little 1 to 10 scale action figures, anything at all. Sells rubber ducks. I would love to be sponsored by a rubber duck company. I think that's a natural tie-in for your channel, not for mine. But yeah, since we're on the subject, we can be bought. We're cheap. We ain't free.
Sure. So you had the people dropping in. Anybody who dropped in who you thought, no names, but did you think, oh, God, how do I get rid of them?
Well,
And what is your method of going, oh dear, look at the time when you don't have a watch on your hand?
I say, Tim, I have shit to do. You've got to leave.
You say that to me I get it.
Ah,
okay.
Bing, the light bulb goes on.
Okay.
No, honestly, I'm here alone with Kun Chamdan most days, all day long. Like I said,
He's been laying out there for the past 2 hours
Yeah, on a
doing
tile floor.
sweet FA.
yeah, I pay him to take a nap. But he's good company, and he's fun to have around. He is the Sancho Panza to my Don Quixote. He is the Batman. He's the Robin to my Batman, and we have a lot of fun together. And other than that, no. Typically, I'm just messing around with the toys on my sets, and like I said, I get everything done in the cool hours of the morning or the cool hours of the evening that I can. And during the day, I'm just under a roof in the shade. So no, I don't mind if people come and they want to sit and tell me stories. The caveat is, any story you tell me is now mine, and if I think it's interesting, I will tell it on my channel. And that's just the memoirist's option.
Another anecdote by Steve.
Yeah, and I'll give credit. I won't claim it as my own story.
You usually do.
No, I have never done that. I went to graduate school to learn how to write creative nonfiction. There are rules. You don't make anything up. You can leave stuff out. But to write a good personal essay, you don't create anything. You don't make anything up. So I never claim this is my story. I say I met a guy, and he told me this story.
It was a dark and stormy night.
Yeah. So.
Let's talk Chinese. We've had a very unfortunate story which made international news about 3 Chinese gentlemen making their way down to Thailand to kidnap, ask for ransom, then murder a young 22-year-old Chinese student, and then they flew back to China the night after the murder and have now been arrested by Chinese police. They don't have a good future ahead of them. No. What do you think happened? Because we don't know.
No, we don't know, and we may never know. I think that the idea that they flew here in order to kidnap this woman and hold her for ransom, I think that's crap. That doesn't make any sense at all. I think, they had a relationship online at least back in China. Excuse me. And I think he may have pursued a romantic relationship here and asked 2 friends to come with him. And then she spurned him, and in a moment of passionate anger, he throttled her. Then he said, what do I do, to his friends? They said, let's dump the body in a swamp, make a phone call on her phone saying we're holding her for ransom just as a smoke screen, and then let's go home as fast as we can. And they were kids. They were dumb kids, probably wealthy kids if they're buying airplane tickets back and forth in hotel rooms.
I mean, they're in their 20s. They're not kids anymore.
I was stupid in my 20s. I think everybody in their 20s is stupid. But I think that, what we know right now is the tip of the iceberg. I don't know that we'll ever hear or learn anything more about it. But yeah, certainly the kids are facing the needle. They're guilty as sin. They've been caught. All the evidence is there, and
they were caught by Chinese police, and so they will face lethal injection in China. Or if they were in Thailand and they were caught in Thailand by Thai police, it would have been a different matter. There's no extradition treaty between China and Thailand. So they would have been tried in Thailand, and they would have ended up with 30 years in a Thai prison, which probably is not much of an option. Yeah.
What's your philosophy? If you're a Buddhist, you say, okay, kill me now. I'll try again. Roll the dice again. If you're Steve, you say, wow, I can get a book out of a prison stay. There's a lot of really poorly written yet commercially fantastically successful books.
God, how long would you last in a Thai prison?
Me? I don't know. I spent a week in jail when I was 17. It wasn't hard. It's mostly boredom. There's disease. In Thai prisons, disease are rampant. But I think, nobody's going to kill me. No prisoner's going to kill me. There's no profit in
Because you used to be a bouncer, so you could fend for
I
yourself.
was much younger.
You'd be talking your way out of all sorts.
Talk my way out of out of things. But yeah, for me, because I think hope springs eternal, and I'm not a devout Buddhist in that I believe in reincarnation. I think we get one shot at it. And I would opt for 30 years in prison. I would take that over a lethal injection.
You're just cutting through the religious terminology there. If you believe there's only one time around, then you're a long way from a Buddhist.
Yeah. Nah, because that's the Hindu stuff that's been laid on top of Buddhism.
Sure.
The Buddha said 4 things, right? The 4 noble truths, and none of that has anything to do with reincarnation. So I haven't studied Buddhism seriously for 35 years, but I still make merit. I still try to put good energy into the world because I believe karma is a thing. I think karma is just physics. And any action there's an equal and positive reaction. And yeah, I'm a Buddhist
equal and opposite
karma
reaction
goes, as far as the 4 noble truths go.
It's Newton's law, by the way.
And one of them, I think. I think, there are bad monks who sell lottery tickets, lottery numbers. I don't believe in that.
Well, there was the monk last week who it was his 44th birthday, and what he did is he hired a crane, got a Muay Thai boxing ring, dressed it up with all the sort of the Buddhist paraphernalia, hoisted it up, and he threw out 150,000 baht he threw out from this crane. You would want to be standing downwind, right?
Yes.
Otherwise,
you'd be taller than everybody else.
You'd be watching all the notes fly past you. But anyway, that's what you do.
There's nothing Buddhist in that. There's nothing nothing Buddhist in that.
He was buying merit, I would say. Well, but even the Christians and the Muslims, they sort of think, if not getting a second go around, they're going somewhere apparently better.
Well, they can have that.
Which could be time long.
Yes.
For many people.
See, I think I found my paradise. I found my heaven. And as much time, now I don't know if you know this, but I am mentally prepared to leave here, to have this period of my life end on May 13th this year. For a variety of reasons that were explained months ago in my channel, I think I will get 1 year on Turtle Beach. May 13th will be my 1 year, about 5 weeks from now. And whatever happens, can
we do an outside broadcast on May the 13th? Because there's going to be the rapture, and you're going to go up to. It's going to be quite a sight.
No, it could be anything. It could be I finally have that third and final heart attack, the Widowmaker. I've had 2 what they call the Widowmaker, the LAD, 99% occluded, and the third one. Every doctor has said that's the one. The third one will kill you. Or it could simply be that I change my mind, or the Thai government won't extend my visa, or I fall off the bicycle again and have to go home for medical treatment. My mother gets sick. I have to go home. Anything can happen. But I have to be mentally. I made a promise one night in 2003 that I would do everything I had to do to be a good parent to my 2 children. But when it was over, I get 1 year in Thailand. That was the promise I made, and I made it sincerely in good faith. And it has been in my mind since 2003. So I am prepared for all of this wonder to end on May 13th or around there. And I'm good with that because that helps me live every single day here to its fullest and do everything I can while I'm here and enjoy the hell out of this place. There is so much to enjoy in Turtle Beach that every single day I end the day with a list of things I didn't get to today that I wanted to get to. Are you
scared of what's coming up next?
No, I would not like to leave this place. I would love to have 10 years or 20 years here. But I made a promise, and I was sincere that night.
You're sort of scooting around the answer a bit. I mean, are you afraid of death?
Oh, no. No, I'm afraid of pain. The 2 heart attacks I've had were terrible. It's like a horse kicking you in the chest. I'm very afraid of pain, and I don't want any pain in my life. But if I
Except me turning up every 2 weeks.
No, you're very welcome here, Tim. It's always a pleasure to see you. if I die in my sleep without pain, that's fine with me. I'm 65 years old. I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I've had a very lucky life. I've been blessed. I've had achievements. I've had failures. I've hopefully learned from both. And I am satisfied right now. I have a lot of time sitting here alone to think about this stuff. And
so you're not scared or sort of worried that the party is going to go on and you're not going to be there?
that's not a party without Steve Ross. You people are going to have to figure out how to get along without Steve Ross. You're in a sticky situation, not me.
It'll be me and the Ducks.
Yeah, just Tim and the Ducks. Imagine that, just Tim and the Ducks. So, Duck, what do you notice in the newspapers today? Yeah, that's what you'll have. Tim, the Ducks, and Baz.
What you should be worried about is that program doing better than what it's doing now.
I won't know. I'll be dead.
Okay.
So I won't know. But no, I don't fear death. I've had a very full, very happy, very fun life. You know, I had a friend when I was 14, and we started smoking cigarettes together, and all the kids who smoke cigarettes hung out together.
And you're still on a pack a day?
Still smoking a pack a day, yeah, since I was 15. His name was Steve Siemens. And his parents thought he was falling in, with a bad crowd. So they sent him to live with his grandmother in a 100-year-old farmhouse in northern Iowa. He was there for 3 days. He fell asleep in bed with a cigarette, burned down the 100-year-old farmhouse, killed himself and his grandma. Ever since then, every big event in my life, my first thought is, Steve Siemens didn't live to enjoy this. First time I got laid, high school graduation, first time I fell in love, marriage, childbirth, everything, every big event in my life. Coming to Thailand, looking out my front door at the Andaman Sea, I think, Steve never got to experience any of this. How lucky am I? Look at all the stuff I got in my life that this kid, his only mistake, he'd only been smoking about a month, and his only mistake was he fell asleep with a cigarette in his hand. I've done that 100 times. And I've never burned down the house. So I'm very satisfied with this life. I'm very happy with this life. I have regrets. I'm not Frank Sinatra.
I've had a few.
Right? Yeah.
Then
that was
again,
Paul Anka that wrote that, wasn't it?
Too few to mention.
But yeah, I'm happy. I'm okay with it.
Well, you won the lottery. Now,
I won the lottery. I won the Thai lottery.
We've got Songkran coming up. Songkran is one of the biggest, it is the biggest festival in Thailand. It's the Thai New Year. The Thai people, they've got 3 New Years. They have the Western New Year, January the 1st. They have the Chinese New Year, especially February. In this part around Thailand with a lot of Chinese ethnically Chinese Thais. And then they've got the Songkran. Are you going to be out there on the back of a truck with a bucket?
No. I don't know if you can see it, there's a big bin full of brand new squirt guns over there. The big ones, shoko. I buy a lot of toys. I spend a lot of time buying toys, and I found a bunch of squirt guns for 20 baht each, so I bought them. I'm going to be in front of the cannabis store next door. It's right on the street, literally right on the street. And there's shade. So I'm going to be in the cannabis store, squirting out into the street. I'm not going to be throwing a bucket of water at anybody, but...
okay.
Yeah. That.
Sure.
Like he knows.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I think my first year with Songkran, I thought, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
So I did jump on the back of a ute, as we call them in Australia, a pickup they call them here.
A utility vehicle.
Some of the pickups, I don't know how they do it, but they actually make them leak-proof, and they fill the back of the pickup with water.
Yeah.
Must weigh tons.
Yeah.
And it is down to its the bottom of its suspension.
Riding right on the springs, yeah.
And then they throw the ice in there, and then they get the guns, and
buckets.
By about 4 or 5 in the afternoon, it must be putrid in there. And they also get the prickly powder.
Oh yeah.
Which
snake
stings.
brand prickly heat talcum powder.
Yuck.
Snake brand.
And when they come up to you and they smear that stuff on your face, that's prickly powder and water, and it stings.
Yes.
So, but after
they get it in your eyes.
After about 10 minutes, I was thinking, I think I've probably done enough Songkran. The second year, I went, and I tried to sort of go places, but even if you're in a car, they'll stop your car, they'll smear that goo all over your car, or they'll just write something on the side which you can't read. or they'll ask you to wind down your window and they'll squirt water into the car.
Yeah.
Grab bikes, grab taxis and stuff, they're pulling their drivers off the roads for 3 days because they're worried, health, workplace safety and all that sort of stuff, that people are going to be throwing buckets of water at them, which if you're driving a motorbike during Songkran, you are likely to get a bucket of water thrown at you.
Don't they have, was it you that told me, they have the 7 days of death?
7 days of danger.
Yeah.
It is the 7 most dangerous days in Thailand. More people die on those 7 days than any other period in Thailand.
And it might be, the saving grace. And it has developed from, if you go back and look at old travel logs, as I do on YouTube about Thailand, Songkran was a very gentle, sweet thing where they would come up and sprinkle water on you. And they would maybe pat a little...
and they'd be washing the Buddha images.
Yes, a big part of it was washing your house icons. And now, it has degenerated into a violent orgy of aggression. And I think a lot of that started in Phuket, Pattaya, places where the Phalang hang out. And they drink too much, and they're too aggressive and too loud and too violent. And then the Thais who work in that environment have picked up on that and carried it home.
Well, last time I was in Bangalore Road in Phuket during Songkran, and it was just complete turmoil.
Yeah.
What people with hoses and people sort of dipping their thing into the water, that was that much water floating along the road, and they're firing it at you. I'm thinking, this will kill you.
It's a
Don't
vector.
get that in your eye.
It's a disease vector. Yeah.
Wear goggles. I could warmly recommend.
Stay home. I stay home. I'm going to stay home because the cannabis store is right next door, and that's where I'll be spending Songkran. But yeah,
They're going to be throwing water at you, though. They're going to be driving past and hurling water into the shop.
I'll be standing in sand on the beach. I mean, throw water at me.
In his Speedos.
No. I'm pretty demure. I'm pretty body conscious. But yeah, it is not my favorite thing about Thailand, I would have to say, Songkran. But I don't, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't change it. Now, if companies like Grab and Grubhub and all these other courier companies start seeing their bottom line affected, if their 3 days of pulling their drivers off the road becomes 7 days, if the Curry van can't bring you your Lazada purchase.
That's Kerry.
It's Kerry, but they call it Curry. If they can't bring you your Lazada purchase in those 3 or 7 days, then we may see, they used to turn off the water in Phuket, the municipal water at noon, because it's the dry season and all the wells, they're pulling water out of the water table. The bacteria count then in that water table skyrockets, and people bathe in that. Women douche with that water, and bladder infections get passed around left and right. So they used to, 35 years ago, turn off the municipal water on Phuket at noon.
Check if that word 13th. Is something that YouTube allows. Anyway.
If I say it, it's allowed.
Steve, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tim.
Happy Songkran, everybody.
That's 30 minutes?
That's enough for me. Thank you to the Ducks. Thank you to the Steve Ross Foundation for allowing us to use the studio today.
And thank you to Flavio Manzoni for my coffee. Flavio, you're a good friend.
My coffee
is gold. I'll split it with you. I got baggies.
There's a link in the description for Steve's channel. It's under there somewhere, where it belongs. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you for watching. I love you guys.